Okay, very good.
Good morning and welcome to episode 1551 of Hard Factor. It is Monday, September 23rd, 2024. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor if you need more Hard Factor. Today, we've got, I don't know what order we're going in, but I'm going to announce it this way. The world's first underwater cemetery with Mark.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, kind of cool.
Yeah, sums up the headline. Can't wait to find out more. I don't know how, like, the logistics, how it works, you know. It's got.
Oh, you'll find out.
Good. We've got good news, bad news with Wes.
Yeah, good news for kids, bad news for one guy.
Oh, that's a good trade-off.
It's mostly good news, it sounds like.
All kids get good news and one guy gets bad news. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, good news for certain kids. Yeah,
that's great. I've also got some good news in all the latest animal stories, a lightning round for you.
Nice.
One really feel-good story in there, and a wild legal story out of Kentucky with Pat.
Yeah, this is some crazy shit. A judge is dead, and a sheriff did it, and the reason why, well, we're trying to figure that out.
We got some irons in the fire, right?
One particularly deep, dark iron.
Yeah.
We might get to the bottom of it.
Blazing hot iron in the middle of that fire, as far back as you can get. All right, who wants to go first? I'm gonna go second with the animal lightning round.
I mean, we can go in that order you said it, and I'm happy to do that. I can talk about underwater cemeteries like right now.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. That means Wes gets bumped to third. All right, go.
Cool.
All right. So I'm sure we've discussed this before, but refresh mine and the audience's memories. Do you guys have a preference of what you want to do with your body once you die?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I've always thought, like, planting a tree on they do that.
Right.
But if your family's cool with it, because then you won't have a headstone, you just have a tree. Planting a tree on top of you is pretty cool.
Yeah, they have that new thing where you can actually just like create a tree. Like they turn it into like mulch, and they've updated that. Yeah.
I've thought about that, because Cam's rabbit died, and they planted it like under a tree. And I thought about that, like, what if a bad storm comes and then it fucking takes out you? That would be very sad for the family.
Yeah, but Wes, what if your tree grows big and strong and you come back as one of the Ents from Lord of the Rings, like a walking tree?
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that.
There's an outside chance.
You guys planted a tree after a rabbit?
I didn't. His mom's boyfriend left Kim's rabbit out in the sun one time, and
you got to go above and beyond for that.
It fucking crowed.
Needed a tree.
Yeah. That death calls for a tree.
I don't know if they planted a specific tree, but they planted it underneath, like near a tree. So it was like, there's Snow's tree.
Yeah, this is the area. If there was a tree here, that would have been shade, and we might have lived.
I had no part in it. I just had to take Cam over so he could pet a dead rabbit for 5 minutes before they took it away.
That's a classic negligent death, overreach on the burial.
Yeah, how did Cam feel about his mom's boyfriend? That boyfriend for the rest of the.
He gets. They're not together anymore. But he gets over stuff like that. I mean, it was
hard to come back from that, dude.
Yeah.
Really
it's
hard.
Really
to come
fucking
killing.
tough, dude.
Yeah. Well, watching him pet the dead rabbit was the toughest part for me.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, I bet. That sounds rough.
I was like, "Are we doing this?"
He needs closure, Wes.
How badly was it burned?
No, it just died of heat exhaustion. So
heat stroke.
Yeah, it wasn't burned. It was overheated like crazy.
Well, they are covered in fur. And Texas is hot.
Yeah, it was hot. It was summertime. Rabbit outside, not going to last long.
No shade.
All right.
Whoa.
All right. Pat, anyone else have anything cool?
I'm under with sound mind as my legal decree. Cremate me.
Okay.
Burials.
Cremation.
Just a waste of land. Land's so expensive, Plus, I don't want someone to have to go to some place. I don't want someone to feel obligated to go to some place.
Well,
yeah, but when you get cremated, you want to get dumped in a badass spot. You don't
dump
want to
me somewhere.
You don't want to sit in the urn your whole afterlife.
Unless that's what you want, loved ones.
Yeah.
I almost have the perfect solution for you, Pat, because this is involving cremation and not taking up any space because, yeah, we are running out of land, a lot of trash and stuff, bodies being buried, not the same thing, but just both those things. And then we have a lot of ocean that we're not using. We don't even know what 90% of our ocean is. So why don't we start creating underwater cemeteries, is what a couple of businessmen near Miami said.
A lot of underused real estate down there under the water.
Like fake reefs with bodies.
So thank you for bringing that up. It is actually it's the world's first underwater cemetery, and that we know of, and the world's first largest, so I should say, man-made reef. So in 2017, the Neptune Memorial Reef, which was called something else, it's like the Neptune man-made reef, was being created 40 feet underwater in Biscayne Bay, which is off the coast of Miami Beach. And we're going to create this huge reef. It's going to bring back coral reefs. It's going to help the marine life. And then all of a sudden, these smart businessmen in Miami were like, why don't we make some fucking money off it? Like, I'm talking millions. How about we start getting families to pay a shitload of money to bury their cremated loved ones' body parts, or cremated ashes in the reef?
Oh,
people are dead. Down when it's wetter.
Yeah.
You know what? You could get the
Please
exact
pay
same,
me.
Yeah.
you could get the exact same experience of this, just dumping the ashes near this thing, and then you could just go visit it. Like, this is where they're at.
You could, Will, and that's one of the 7 options. Actually, they have 7-part payment plan. That's the
You could
poor
also
person
just do
option.
that for free. You could just do that one. They're not. They'll be none the wiser.
They probably wouldn't be. That is the poor person package. I didn't get the name of it. I think it's just called the poor person package.
The dump
but to Wes's point, like 40 feet below, and the water is not like roped off. Like
You can't
water
own the water floor.
kind of open. So like,
So here's kind of what it looks like. Let me get some pics up.
get a headstone down there.
Okay.
So this is like the middle of the road, or one of the nicer options. You can buy like little headstones, like Will mentioned, in the shape of existing marine life that lives down there.
Vaginas.
Starfish, sea turtles, pufferfish, little sharks down there, and they're like little headstones where they put your cremated stuff right underneath it, and totally the water won't move that to another location hundreds of miles away over the course of the life.
Right.
But technically, you're right there, and you got a little plaque, right? So that's where you are.
You know what? What would be cooler is if they literally just take like your full body, they tie you down, the fish eat your body, and then your bones turn into the reef.
Whoa.
Right, but for a guy that's not into like people putting up macabre decorations for Halloween, don't you think that's fucking insane to have a bunch of bodies and skeletons down there?
Yeah, it is. But it's better than this. I mean, it's
a reef made of bones is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea there too.
That helps the fish. And I don't have to look at it. It's in the ocean. Yeah.
This is an expensive package. This is a lot
of happy sharks.
This is the 7 out of 7, the private family lot where you can get just like Poseidon statue, and only your family can be in that square mile.
Yeah, like you were a mermaid king or something.
Yeah.
I might write a Disney kids movie about some kids that like take up scuba diving for the summer and then have no idea that there's like a reef of dead bodies down there, and then come across it Goonies style.
That's awesome.
And exactly. What a misunderstanding,
And that's what it's going to be, because there's already 1,500 bodies down there, or cremated remains down there, and thousands more have signed up. And this thing is going to be pretty big. It's going to be 250,000 people total across 16 acres in this giant man-made reef. So it's going to be interesting down there. And you got to scuba to get there.
Yeah.
So that's how they're doing it. It's a man-made reef. So because you can't own the ocean, but if you had land that you flood, then I guess you can own that. Is that how that works? I don't know.
I don't know how it works. It seems like some people are making money off of it, and everyone's trying to sign up for it.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how like the land works, but they probably just installed this thing and then they offer the service of installing the headstones afterwards. How much, Mark, for the one where they make you Poseidon? Because that was cool. I would maybe go spring for that.
They don't tell you until you have to. They don't tell you. Will you have to call?
I might go through like the little sales pitch just to hear how much the Poseidon is, because that is cool. Like
that's for rich eyes only. Will
that
can't find that online.
They're gonna chisel a statue like you're a fucking god of the ocean and then put it down there.
Yeah. Is the idea here, because boats are so expensive? Like if you're a serious boat guy, you're looking at $400,000. $600 to $600,000 for your boat. If you're like a deep Florida serious boat guy, is the idea here you got a rich audience, right, of dead boat guys and people who just inherited their dead boat money, and they think, well, what would they're always named like Bill? What would Bill like? He'd like to be in the ocean, the place he loved the most, and he's also audacious
because
He's
so many
also
people already
jacked.
do that. Yeah.
Bill
So
was
many
fat as shit in real life, but he has an 8-pack on the statue.
100%. Yeah, and a captain's hat.
Yeah, he's Poseidon. Poseidon's body, his face. But like to Will's point, to your point, Pat, I think it's not only for Bill, it's for Bill's family because people do want to go see the bodies. So this is like an excuse for the rich families to be like, oh, I can go learn how to scuba and I can go pay my respects to the plaque. Because unless you're like a fucking cartographer or whatever, you're not going to know exactly the GPS location of where you dump someone's ashes if you dump them out at sea. But when you dump them at this man-made reef, you can go straight to the plaque. And and Will, to your point, I don't think there's even a set price when you call them. I think they feel you out. I think they feel you out for how much they can suck out of you.
So what I would say to them is I'm either going to go illegally dump the ashes directly on them and you can't stop me because what could you do? You couldn't.
Right.
Or you sell me the Poseidon for cheap. That's my negotiation tactic with them.
Right.
Can I do a quick impression?
They're not going to sell you the
Bill's...
Poseidon for cheap, so you're going to have to do the other one.
Well, sorry. Then I will sneak up when you least suspect it and dump the ashes right there.
There you
right
go.
on your thing.
Just quick impression of Bill's youngest sitting with his older siblings, who's the cut up of the family. When they hand him the price, a card with the price, he goes, "Whoa, quite a bill for Bill, am I right?"
Oh yeah, that brought the house down. But we got to pay it. You know how you love the water.
His name was Bill.
Yeah.
But this is outrageous.
It is outrageous. It's also,
That's one of them.
this is just the pillars, right? So like this
It's
is
the man-made reef part. Yeah, they're like
you can get buried by one of those pillars for a lot of money, and they'll put like a plaque with your name on it, like a bunch of them, right? So like they're all there's like
right
plaques
there.
everywhere. Yeah, there's like it's totally up to what you want to do. So
it's like the Vietnam Wall for rich people who own boats.
exactly.
Kind of look like access panels for like utility repairmen. A little bit those plaques.
Yeah.
Look like
Well,
a
I bet
gas
you could.
meter
I bet
a
you
little
could pay
bit.
for different types of plaques
See?
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
the
like
quality's
that.
low.
Open that up and there's
Surprisingly low. Yeah.
like a
That's-
knob or something in there.
Yeah, their family cheaped out a little bit, but they
This
get to
is
go
going
visit
to
them.
be this is going to be a scandal in 10 years when none of the ashes are in there and they weren't actually doing it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think. How do you get the ashes in the rock?
Well, it's just a waterproof container, like a plexiglass container. They stuff it in the rock and then they
Maybe. I think it's probably just they dump them near that area.
yeah.
They might just dump them out.
Yeah, and I think
Someone's gonna get it.
the ocean takes the ashes. First of all, the fish eat the ashes, so they're gone, and they shit them back out, and then the ocean takes the ashes, to like another fucking country eventually.
That sand down there is like half ash, though. That's got to be haunted. The area.
Right? No, it's
around.
definitely haunted down there.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool. I like the ocean. I dig it. It's a good. I think it's a good idea all around. Good money making idea. It's cool. Good for the families. I like it.
You can live your afterlife inside of Davy Jones' locker. It's pretty sweet.
Someone's going to get attacked by a shark visiting their loved one day.
And then die right next to him
Yeah.
at the plaque.
Yeah.
Good business.
Yeah.
But then you can just start the skeleton reef. That's the
Yeah.
next.
The skeleton reef is where it's at. Letting
You
the
have
fish
to die
pick
in
your
the-
bones clean.
You have to die in the ocean visiting a loved one or just visiting in order to be part of
Not
the
everybody's got the stomach for the skeleton reef, but
Yeah.
for those who do, they'd pay top dollar.
Yeah.
They get the idea. Yeah.
That's an argument with a family, after you die.
I want to be in the skeleton wall.
He wanted what?
Yeah, but people are gonna end up fucking on your reef, dude.
Yeah.
What's
Not
that?
only
It's gonna
that,
attract such pervs.
well, also bull sharks. They'll just eat you in half. They'll probably your corpse might not make it to stay on the reef because the shark might just consume it.
Pat, if 250,000 people are buried across 16 acres, there's not going to be a lot of downtime. You think people are going to get down there and fuck in front of all these mourning people?
I don't
You
know.
think, you
It
think
is Florida.
MILF Hunter is going to film a scene down there?
It is Florida, Mark. They love fucking in public, especially. Real quick, live internet comment while we're taping on YouTube from Tiller. He says the Titan submersible was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Ta-da-ching.
Got him.
Really was underwater cemetery. Okay, we're gonna head over to the animal lightning round, but first, this animal lightning round is brought to you by our incredible sponsors, Chubbies. Okay, the best men's clothes you could buy on the internet. Pretty much Bam, end of sentence, period. I'm wearing it shoulder to knee right now, and I literally worked out in it right before the show. It's that stretchy. It's got that much range of motion, comfortability, and I'm talking about a button-up, collared shirt, short sleeve. The shorts, their shorts are incredible. They're known for the shorts. That's why it's chubbyshorts.com, because they have the best shorts ever. I mean, it's incredibly stretchy. It doesn't matter if you get like the nice looking material or like the swimsuit looking material, doesn't matter. Stretchy, durable, 100%. The perfect inseam links to show off your thighs as well. But summer is dead. It's harsh but true. Fall is here, and that means it's time to stock up on more chubbies for the tailgates, pumpkin patches, and late night bonfires, and just everyday wear, okay? Because they've got pullovers, quarter zips, long sleeves, pants. Chubbies has you covered this fall and all year round. The best summer clothes already. Find out about the fall clothes right now. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners 20% off your order with our exclusive code. Use code HARDFACTOR at chubbyshorts.com. Just pull up the site. You'll see what I'm talking about. 100% stylish and comfortable. All the looks you need year-round. Chubbies. Get in on it. Best men's clothes out there. And would you look at that? Folks, for a limited time, our friends at Chubbies are giving our listeners 20% off with promo code HARDFACTOR at checkout at chubbyshorts.com. That's 20% off your order, the whole thing, with promo code HARDFACTOR at chubbyshorts.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you this fall. Make the most of every moment with Chubbies. Shop now and fall into comfort, one stylish piece at a time. The best, Chubbies. All right. Now it's time for
living on the edge of a lightning bolt, and I do not apologize for that.
lightning round, animal style, not like the fries, in and out, but just animals, actual animals. First up, it snowed all weekend in South Africa, the country of South Africa, leaving up to 6 feet of snow in some places, which obviously completely fucked their traffic over, right? In South Africa, they're not good at plowing shit. But also, at the same time as fucking up their roads, making all the wild animals in South Africa look very fucking cool. Here's some giraffes in the snow, just chilling. See it?
Yeah.
Insane, man.
Yeah.
Looks like a zoo in Montana.
Yeah. But no, it's South Africa in the wild. This is what the cheetahs would have looked like. You know, I didn't get pictures of every single animal. Those giraffes are from this weekend, okay? But here's some examples.
They would have been. You wouldn't have been able to see the cheetahs if it was 6 feet.
No,
You AI'd a picture of a cheetah in snow?
No, this is from 2022, the last time it snowed in South Africa. More pictures will come out. You'll get better ones. This giraffe one is legit. All right, I didn't see a ton of great legit ones from this weekend yet, but this is what the cheetahs were looking at, like just cool as fuck, getting snowed on. Like, I don't know, the snow just really sets off these African animals. There's some elephants in the snow. Lion in the snow looks really cool. You know?
Yeah. I went to the Central Park Zoo for our buddy's P-Day's wedding, and it snowed 6 to 8 inches that day. And we went to the day of the wedding. We went or in the morning to the zoo, and no one was there, but it was open. It was incredible. The animals were just doing that and just loving it. There's what were the red pandas jumping 8 feet, making little snow piles. It was incredible.
That's amazing.
Sick.
It was sick.
It's fucking sick.
It was fucking sick. Yeah.
It's fucking sick, bro.
I didn't know it snowed in South Africa. I would have bet the barn that never would happen in the world ever.
No, it's happened. I was actually there one time when it happened.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was always 100 degrees down there.
Early 90s. Yeah, in the wintertime. They're close enough. They're far south enough.
Yeah.
They can get snow.
Yeah. And this is their
well, yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Must be.
End of winter. Yeah, I don't know how the northern southern hemisphere work exactly, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's flipped.
It's snow season.
Yeah.
All right, second, way less cool. A lot less cool. I'm gonna warn you. A rare polar bear came ashore to Iceland late last week, and then Iceland, they just straight up smoked that polar bear. Okay, as soon as it came up on shore, the local police just fucking murdered it immediately. euthanizing it. They deemed the bear was a threat to society. And this polar bear, could you imagine what this polar bear did after it floated over on some ice from Greenland to Iceland? What do you think it did that was so aggressive?
Took a shit. You got to take a shit after a long boat ride.
Definitely took a big dump, but it did one thing that was just absolutely unbearable for the Icelanders.
Probably
Ripped a piss.
Took a nap.
Killed a pet.
It napped. No less. It didn't. It rummaged through some trash. All right.
Ooh.
And apparently in Iceland, that's all it takes for a polar bear to be deemed a threat to society. Polar bears are native to nearby Greenland, but not Iceland, because you see, they're killed immediately whenever one of them floats over on a chunk of ice, like they like to do sometimes when they're looking for a snack. So it's a thing that happens, but they've never been able to get a foothold in Iceland because the only snack they're going to find when they get to Iceland is a government issued lead sandwich. Okay. They get shot on sight. Literally in 2008, Iceland decided that it is fate on sight for what they refer to as vagrant polar bears, aka any polar bear that actually makes it to Iceland is considered vagrant and immediately euthanized.
You can remove the word vagrant.
Yeah, they really don't need the descriptor. It's all polar bears. They fucking shoot them immediately as soon as they get onto the island.
Can't put them to sleep and then give them a little lift back over to Greenland.
No, they decided, Wes, in 2008, company policy, Iceland policy, we're going to murder all polar bears. That's it.
It is cheaper.
Do you know that polar bears'
our shores.
skin is 100% black?
Yeah.
And that their tongues are blue?
I didn't know about the tongues.
Didn't know about the
I coincidentally watched a video about polar bears earlier with my son.
They're fucking badass too. But this isn't that surprising. Don't Iceland and Greenland have like those like whaling events where it like kills all the whales and they celebrate it?
The grist.
Yeah, the grist.
The grind.
The grind.
I think
I mean, this doesn't surprise me coming from the grind folk.
I think that's Denmark, but yes, I mean, it's similar. They're all Norse. And I guess the Icelanders have just been murdering polar bears for centuries, probably. Now that it's codified into law, codified, however you say that. This one was called into the authorities by a frightened woman staying at an Airbnb because, of course, it is Iceland after all. I think it's like 95% Airbnbs now. Iceland.
Yeah. Vagrant polar bear will be right over, ma'am.
Yeah. All right. And the best animal news by far of all, a California couple named Benny and Suzanne Anguiano had feared that they would never see their pet cat, Rainbow, very clever name, Rain, Rayne space Bow, Beau, ever again. They were worried they'd never see Rainbow ever again after he ran off.
It's 2 words. It's not rainbow. It's Rainbow. It's 2 words.
His last name. His middle name is Bow.
No. You're not saying it right. It's Rainbow.
Exactly.
Got
you have to make sure you get it right around Benny and Suzanne because Rainbow is a special cat. 2 words, Rainbow. And he ran off into the woods. They thought they'd never see him again after he ran out the woods. They were camping in Yellowstone National Park in June this summer, which is like, Montana-ish.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
It's not a dog.
Hold on. It's not a dog, right? Yeah, as Wes said. They brought it camping.
Why can't you bring a cat camping?
Because it's a cat.
But they'll control the varmints around the campsite. I mean, way better.
Can't bring a cat camping, buds.
Yeah.
It's a bad bold decision.
It's kind of cat 101, guys.
It's an insane decision.
It is bold. But if you have an outdoor
cat in the house.
If you have an outdoor cat that you're confident in, I could see making the call.
Yeah, well, you better expect never to see it again if you take it.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
100%, dude.
Do you have an outdoor cat that you can call back at any time? Like, obviously, like if it's not familiar with Yellowstone Park, it might make it back.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, you're probably setting yourself up to never leave your campsite potentially, because you're just gonna wait there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And hope it comes back.
Right.
Maybe, or you could do what this couple did. They laid out cat treats, searched for Rainbow everywhere inside the park when they were hiking around, when they were staying there. But Rainbow was off in the woods, having too good of a time to come back, to the campsite before the couple had to drive home to Roseville, California, 800 miles away. But then, the couple's
trying to get
devastated.
home. It was like,
They get home, they're devastated. They're in Roseville. They're like, oh, our poor Rainbow. But then 2 months later, Rainbow shows up at a local animal shelter in Roseville, California. They scan his chip. He's returned safe and sound to the couple.
it made it the 800 miles back into town.
Yeah, Rainbow's a fucking beast, buddy. Rainbow, there he is chilling on the bed. He's back home in Roseville, California. He made it all the way from Yellowstone National Park, 800 miles. The cat was just having a good time.
Holy shit. These assholes made the cat travel 800 miles?
They didn't make it. I mean, the Rainbow ran away.
No. There's no way that Rainbow knew where he was going. This
doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah. A lucky coincidence.
How did it get from
800 miles?
It made it home. It made it 800 miles home.
This isn't a Disney movie. It can't do that.
That's true.
It can't make it from Yellowstone to.
No, cats are much more capable in the wild than you guys give them credit for.
Yeah, but didn't know where it lived.
From
It didn't know how to get back to California.
It knows how to get it. Cats have a homing signal.
It was looking out the window of the car the whole way. Be like, remember that?
Wes, why do you think cats roam and they always come home?
Don't
because they're going like a mile at most. Will.
Yeah. You think the story's fake?
No, I think that you thinking that Rainbow made his way home like a Disney movie is fake.
Guys, Homeward Bound was based on a true story.
Coincidence. Somebody picked him up and lived in Roseville.
Yeah, but they had a
dog.
He showed
up walking to the clinic. Cats have a homing signal back to the house. He lived at that house. He knew where it was. He found it 800 miles away.
I don't think so.
Look it up.
I mean, there's no way.
How far do the pets?
You guys are fucking very incorrect, but okay. Thanks for ruining a feel-good story. It must be.
She's saying, hold on.
How far?
The Incredible Journey, a top-selling book from Sheila Burnford. The author based her novel on the unstoppable animal trio, her own pets, her 3 animals, who were companions during World War II, who got mixed up. And then what happened? And it doesn't say.
How far do they make it?
How are you going to tell me that's based on a true story without telling me what the fuck happened to these cats? I see the answer.
They traveled 300 miles. So Rainbow by itself traveled almost 3 times as much as the pets that they made a movie out of. So Rainbow, you might want to make a movie out of Rainbow.
Yeah, impressive cat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I didn't know. I guess you can take your cat to Yellowstone.
Yeah,
they have better homing senses for their homes than dogs do, or just as good.
Wow.
Okay. It's not like an uncommon story for a cat to be dropped off.
I mean, it's extremely uncommon.
I don't know how to react to your belief in this story.
No, it's true. It's true. Cats have good senses to find home. I'm telling you, it's a scientific thing.
It was never in 99% of that area.
Right.
What?
It knew Rosewood, right?
Okay, so you guys are just such cat experts. So you're such animal experts that you're saying this story is impossible to be real.
Not saying it's impossible. It's very improbable. I feel
the cat did it all by himself.
Evidence supports the idea that cats are able to use Earth's geomagnetic fields, potentially combined with scent cues to locate their homes.
It's the thing we've covered before on the show.
For how far, though? 800 miles?
They don't know. Why haven't they studied this?
Look, I'll be the first to apologize if someone can come and tell me that the cat's capable of going 800 miles without knowing any of it.
They're capable of homing in on locations that they're familiar with what Pat just described.
Yes, familiar, not
right. But Wes described, it wasn't familiar with anything
where it was, but it knew how to get back because directionally it knew where it was compared to its house.
Okay,
it's followed the North Star.
No, it followed its sense to where the house was directionally. That's what Pat was.
Is it possible they brought Rosewood home in the car?
Yeah,
and then they just didn't see it for 2 months.
Connect a movie deal.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying on accident?
I think it's a hoax.
An accident, yeah. Like stopped at like
they left it in the trunk
for some food on a truck stop near Rosewood.
Yeah.
throughout the thing the cat was in.
I think they made the whole thing up.
The story must be fake, guys. Wes and Mark don't believe it. So. It's got to be fake. If these two don't buy it, I don't know.
I'm with you, Wes.
How it possibly could be real.
No, it's a great story. I do hope it is true. Okay.
But the AP is reporting it as true, so I hope so too.
All right. Good. All right. More good news. Start your week off. Good news for families with children in the Detroit public school system. A sentence that hasn't been said, since the auto industry left and that city for dead in the 60s. And this might shock some of you, but some attendance is very down in Detroit public schools, especially high schools. But one of the main reasons that attendance is down is not because, kids are losers, don't want to learn, or out selling drugs, or have, jobs to support their families. It's because they are embarrassed at how dirty and smelly they are. At least that's what the Detroit public school system says. And that's how they're going to fight this lack of attendance. So via a partnership with General Electric, they are attempting to combat absenteeism with a way for smelly and dirty kids to gain their confidence back and not get bullied out of class by giving them their dignity and confidence back. The schools will be installing washers and dryers in every public school so that kids without running water can wash their clothes and stop being called, malodorous Mary or rank Rakim or
butt stank.
Malodorous.
A lot of butt stank comments.
Yes.
You looked up synonyms for stinky, huh?
Yeah. Smelly. Musty,
Odious
dusty.
Omar over there.
Butt stank, Mary.
Malodorous. Malodorous. Here's a video.
Offensive Odin.
Washing machines. Never heard of that at a school.
But Melena Willis,
Hey, ladies, what y'all doing?
a parent and public safety officer at Pershing High School in Detroit, has heard of students who don't have access to running water or a washer and dryer at home ditching class because they're too embarrassed to come to school.
Some kids get picked at, made fun of because they smell. So this was a good opportunity to bring the washers to the schools.
And this unit is all in one, both a washer and a dryer. Willis says she too plans to use instead of paying at a laundromat. Bryant Tipton, principal at Pershing High School, says this will also benefit the school sports teams too.
Our coaches have to take the uniforms home to their own washers and dryers and wash them. No sports team or athletic facility should have to do that. You should be able to do that at the school.
Our number one
washer,
goal
dryer at
is
school.
to eliminate any barrier.
Anyway,
That's great.
Pretty standard at most high schools to have a big washer dryer thing.
Not if you got no money.
No, now you got money. And now those smelly kids are going to have to fight off the teachers and the security guard like Miss Willis and every sports team in order to get their chance at the one machine that does both.
Oh, that thing's broken.
Yeah, I just heard a lot of faculty staking claim to it in that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, as Will said, this should have been here a long time ago for other needs.
We had
It's sad that the kids don't have it, but yeah.
At our high school that were like from when the school was installed in like the 70s, and they were still working when we were there in the 90s, 2000s.
Yeah.
Crazy. Now Detroit needs to get on that. Everybody needs a fucking washer dryer in their high school. That's crazy.
Right, or like a station for sports teams where it goes to like one location, gets washed, and then returned to the school, right? Like you need to not do it at your house.
Right. Yeah. I mean, ideally, you'd have the shit on hand to do it.
The school system should handle that. Hopefully,
that's crazy.
Yeah. No, there's the line on the machine that first of all, once they didn't even buy a washer and a dryer, they bought one machine that can do both. So it's going to be.
Yeah. What if 10 kids need to use it?
Right. It's one kid a day that gets to use that thing. Max, probably.
You got to get in there early too.
Yeah, they got to.
Well, then you're gonna have to start mixing loads too. People are gonna get their shit mixed up. It's a mess.
You could be a load buddy. Someone's gonna pee in there.
Oh, it's reeking Raul's day.
I mean, it feels like they could afford a couple more washer dryers.
Yeah,
maybe
it does. Maybe even rent them for $30 a month. I don't know. Anyway, half the schools have the washer and dryers on their campuses, and that's because the other half have already been stolen. Just kidding. The rest of the installations are expected to be completed by the end of 2024. So, hey, if that's what's stopping kids from going to school because they're embarrassed because they smell. Do you guys have any smelly kids in class growing up? I'm sure you did.
No,
everybody has smelly kids in class.
Yeah,
but not because they didn't have a washer dryer.
Yeah.
They chose to be smelly.
Yeah,
I went through periods where I was a bully and then not a bully, and I've been trying to make up for it ever since. And I think the worst thing I ever did to any kid ever was me and a couple of our buddies made fun of one kid for wearing like the same clothes every day. And being like
God,
smelly.
that's a bad one.
And I've been looking over my shoulder ever since for a bullet.
That's a bad one, Mark.
So I can understand. I can relate to this story. I was on the wrong
people
end of
like
that.
Mark that
Hand
were
up.
On the other
Hand up.
side.
Hand up. Shouldn't have done that.
He's just a boy.
Yeah. I get it. I hope they get more than one washer and dryer. But also, isn't it kind of embarrassing to have to use it in front of everyone at the school?
You get in early. Like
Better
the kids that
than
come in for basketball practice early to shoot around.
Yeah.
Right, like where the washer dryer is normally used at a lot of other schools.
Yeah. Miss Willis also said, quote, there's this one kid that they bully a lot. I guess he has issues with not having running water at home. So she comes to me every morning, or he comes to me every morning. I give him a rag, soap, and I tell him to go to the bathroom and wash up. So kids are washing with rags and soap before school in Detroit public schools, which is sad.
That sucks.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Kentucky, guys, where things are equally bad. I don't know. Thursday afternoon, 2:55, a 911 call was placed from the Letcher County Courthouse in Kentucky because shots had been fired inside the building, inside the courthouse. A bunch of law enforcement showed up to the scene, and they found District Judge Kevin Mullins, 54, DEAD, with multiple gunshot wounds. Here is Mullins. He's dead.
Yeah.
Weird looking dude. Sorry. R.I.P.
Strange profile photo for a judge. Yeah.
He's got weird photos all around. Someone pulled out like a 14 millimeter lens and got real close to his face for his bio photo. I don't know why they did that. That's literally a technique that's used in horror films to create a sense of foreboding. But nonetheless, Judge Dredd, exactly. They tried to save his life. He was pronounced dead. His murderer was 43-year-old Letcher County Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins. There's the two of them together, the murderer and the murderee.
Yeah. He did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question is, guys, why did this happen? And we don't know, but we got some ideas. Let me introduce you to the first concept, guys. There was an officer named Ben Fields in Kentucky, a deputy, who got a little horned up and decided that maybe he would take advantage of his position of power and his horniness to proposition a couple ladies that were in trouble and say, hey, why don't I, instead of you going to jail, I get you put on house arrest, and then I make some visits to you. And one of those ladies was Sabrina, and he made flirtatious comments about Sabrina's looks and body, and then he was told her that he was confident that he could work something out. And
he was taken with her.
This is the other one, another poor woman. Anyway, Atkins, I guess, alleged that this deputy would meet after dark in the judge's chambers. Okay, the judge that was murdered, because I guess Sabrina couldn't find a place to live, and also he told Sabrina that there were no cameras in the judge's chambers, which I don't know if that's true or not.
Probably true.
Ben Fields was a subordinate of the sheriff that murdered the judge on Thursday. Okay, so
did he kill the judge for shutting down his fuck shack? The judge get wise, and he was like, "You can't."
No. So the fuck shack had been shut down. The fuck shack had been shut down. There's Ben Fields, the guy that was banging these chicks, being commended by the sheriff a couple years ago.
Oh, he had in chambers.
Yeah, he would say, I want you to do a favor for me. He kept asking for blowies. That's what he would do. Yeah, let's go do it in the judge's office. That's where he was banging him. The sheriff had to fire Ben Fields. And the sheriff was under a ton of pressure. And I guess he was deposed on Monday before he murdered the judge on Thursday. So Ben Fields, the subordinate's banging and sexually assaulting these poor women, in the judge's chambers. Okay, the sheriff accused of turning a blind eye to it until the ladies brought a lawsuit. Then Ben Fields, the deputy's dismissed, and the judge and the sheriff This is according to video footage of the shooting. So maybe there was camera footage in the judge's chambers. This is what's really weird. Ben Fields is like, I'm positive there's no cameras in there, so I'm going to bang you in here. But
yeah,
well, they may have put him in after all the blowjobs.
That's a good call.
Right.
That's a good call.
How am I going to help you out if you don't help me out?
Yeah, one of the women was so poor she couldn't afford an ankle monitor. So that's part of the reason he brought her back to the chambers. It says it's kind of hard to understand. Anyway, video footage of the shooting, which hasn't been released,
GPS tracking back here either,
shows that Steins, the sheriff, entered the courtroom and asked to speak to Mullins, the judge, privately before they headed into the judge's office. And after a short conversation, Steins stood up to lock the door. Then each man took out their cell phone and handed it to the other. Okay, it was like, let me see your cell phone. Let me see your cell phone. And then Steins, a father of two, drew his weapon, walked around the judge's desk, and shot him repeatedly. Now, the reason we heard about this story is because a member of our Discord posted it and said that the judge was banging the sheriff's daughter, 17-year-old daughter. Now, I can't find anything on that, but I will say there's there's a rumor mill going around Kentucky. That's what I will say.
Well, I mean, it's weird, right? He murders him in his chambers and then says there's no motive. So obviously there was a huge motive that he's just not.
Well, I don't know that he's saying there's no motive. It just hasn't been publicly announced the motive. But I will say that the judge's brother-in-law took to Facebook, who's also an attorney in the court system there, and said, like, look, spoke positively about his former brother-in-law. And he said, look, but I'm not going to feed the rumor mill. Ooh, what does that mean?
Just tossing out a few hypotheticals, right? Because it seems insane. In order to like do that as a sheriff to shoot the judge, I'm going to assume it's something along the lines of the sheriff's like, we do have cameras and you're on some of them, or something along the lines of like he's banging a 17-year-old. So it's got to be something insane, right? It has to be something more.
Why would they both look at each other's phones?
To make sure they're not recording audio. To make sure no one's like calling someone, recording the audio device. Like, you're not recording this, are you? Let's have a conversation. Yeah. So then the judge was probably like, I'm going to turn you in, or yes, I was banging your daughter. I'm guessing it's like something crazy happened.
Yeah. If he's banging your daughter, I could see it.
Or the sheriff was also banging these chicks.
That's what I'm saying. The judge was like, I have to turn you in.
Trying to cover his tracks.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not saying the sheriff was totally in the right here. He might have been behind the eight ball. The judge was like, I can't let you off.
Yeah. I mean, the other guy was raping women. He pled guilty to raping female prisoners.
Mm-hmm. Right. It was in the judge's chambers. Who okayed it? The judge or the sheriff? Right.
I think you could just the sheriff did. The guy had the key. He got in there because he probably works in the courthouse. Small courthouse, 1,000 people.
This is a town of 1,700 people.
Yeah. But the
this guy was just going in and getting the
do anything about it. The sheriff knew.
And he knew and didn't do anything. And did the judge know, or did the judge just find out?
Judge didn't know.
Well, see, that's what.
That's what we're led to believe.
That's why I think they had the conversation without the recordings, and I think they discussed
what
each other knew. Yeah, I think that what was known was maybe discussed prior to the shooting.
And let's just say that we have again no evidence whatsoever other than one of our Patreon members posting in the Discord that he was banging his daughter. That's all. That's literally the only evidence.
Well, something
that's breaking. That's breaking right there. If that's true,
that's breaking. I mean, that's quite a. It's quite a theory, but it's like, something big went down, obviously, because the sheriff shot a judge in his chambers and then turned himself in. I mean, obviously, it was over something huge.
They're arguing over whether cats can find their way back
home.
800.
You idiot! You can't go 800 miles. You can't by the Earth's poles.
Just as a quick aside, if you run into an officer with the name Ben Fields, run. Here's another Ben Fields who body slammed a 16-year-old girl. Different Ben Fields, different county.
This is small town shit. There was
lots of Ben Fields show up when you search shady Ben Fields officer. Anyway, that's the show. We'll keep you updated on what happens there, what comes out. I'm sure it'll come out in court. Why don't you get out there and have a great fucking day.